Hey everybody, Chris here. So is Dogecoin's next move going to be up or down? We're going to talk about that in this video. Please be sure to subscribe to my channel. Hit a little notification bell too. You can be notified when new videos come out, as well as when I do live streams. We were live on Sunday afternoon and we watched Dogecoin race up along with Bitcoin, hit a high, and then retrace. And then we were talking about what is the next move there. Well, we did consult the Magic 8 Ball, right? And the Magic 8 Ball said, buy Dogecoin on the dip, right? Yes, definitely, the 8 Ball said. And then Dogecoin and Bitcoin both went up again. However, overnight, we saw a bigger retrace. And I called it though. During the live stream, I circled the chart on Bitcoin and said, this is the target where Bitcoin will drop down to. And Bitcoin hit it. And what is that target? I'm going to show you that on the chart. So let's look at the charts on the news. I'll show you what I'm looking at. And we start here looking at the current Dogecoin chart, and we're at 21.72. That's right, just below 22 cents for the current Dogecoin price. And Bitcoin is at 102.9. So we had Bitcoin come up here yesterday at 106. That was the first top, and then a retrace. And it was during that retrace and then subsequent beginning of a turnaround there where it looked like we would have some good news coming forward. However, we had this kind of overarching news story about the credit rating of the United States and the impact it was going to have on the stock market. And I said, well, we'll have to look and see what the stocks look like when the futures trading opens for stocks. And so I did that last night, and the futures were in the red. So NASDAQ down about 1.5, S&P 1.1, Russell 1.3. So in the red, and this is sell America, right? This idea, U.S. loses its last top credit rating. So the stock futures sink after the Moody's credit downgrade. And so all of that last night led to, even though Bitcoin did come up to 107, again, took out a bunch of shorts there, but then came down. So what happened with the liquidations? Well, Bitcoin went up to 107, huge liquidations here on the short side, and then it came down. And what did it come down to? Well, we'll take a look at this in a minute here, but I did want to check what I had posted this morning, and that is this. This is what we saw last night, was this level of 102.860. 102.860 was the target level for Bitcoin to come down to take out $100 million in leveraged long trades. And I said that was what was in play, and that's what Bitcoin did. Came down to 102.860, dipped a little bit more, took out a little more leverage, and that's what this is. That's what this whole thing is. It's like the shorts, the longs. There was an opportunity for the market makers to do that big shift, and they did it. So here we are, 102.8 now for Bitcoin. What is the next move going to be? And Dogecoin at 21.69. What is Doge going to do next? So that's what we're looking at. Bitcoin, ETH, XRP, Dogecoin all slide after a record weekly Bitcoin close. That's right, Bitcoin did finish the week higher than it ever finished the week before. And some say, well, that's what we got, right? And that move up to 107, now it's time for a bigger retrace, and we could be looking at that for the week ahead. And Gel says, look, just says, go easy on the leverage, be patient, price discovery will kick off soon, pre-breakout rinses are the norm, don't get caught with your pants down. So why is everyone trading on this leverage? And that's just giving those market makers an excuse to drop the price down and take out that leverage. Over-leveraged monkeys getting slaughtered before the real all-time high breakout. And I believe that is coming. It's coming, but not quite yet. So why is Dogecoin trading lower on Monday morning? Well, we do have, Doge broke past 23 cents twice on Sunday, met with heavy resistance each time, leading to a U-turn. So Doge was simply following in Bitcoin's footsteps. Chandler, our friend Chandler Bing says, look, Doge will absolutely explode, of course, along with Pepe, because he's a big Pepe shiller, but when Bitcoin hits a new high and holds above 110K, then it's look out Pepe, look out Doge, and that's what's going to come. And most likely that will happen. It's just going to take a little time to get there, in my opinion. Now, 80% of the derivatives traders on Binance have opened Doge positions leveraged long, now up to 80%. We've seen this go from 70 to 75 to 80. More and more of these futures traders, leverage traders, derivatives traders, this article says, are now long on Doge, indicating a bullish outlook for the meme coin. And the bull bear power indicator, which measures the strength of buyers and sellers, flashed a buy signal for Doge. However, the momentum indicator, which compares the short-term price and long-term price, indicated sell. So there's a little bit of a difference there between buy and sell. So that's what we have in front of us here, is what is the next move for Doge? Is Doge going to struggle here? Doge started a fresh increase, climbed above 23.2 zone. However, Doge is now correcting gains back to 2180. So this kind of bullish and bearish formation here, right now, will Doge hold that line on that second pullback and then move back up into this zone between 22, 23 cents? Is short term where we could see that, if it holds that support line. Meanwhile, Dogecoin price tests panic zone at 21 cents. Breakdown could lead to price crash. Now, I don't think there's going to be a crash, but lower prices are in play, mostly because of more liquidations that could happen here, down to Bitcoin down to 122.2, could go to into the 101s for Bitcoin, and we could see, and we look at these heat maps again during the live streams. Make sure you join in. We'll check the Magic 8 Ball too and see what the Magic 8 Ball says. But what we really want to see is Doge, though, and what Doge looks like on the heat map. And right now, there's a lot of shorts up here, all the way up to 23.8 to 24 cents. Big shorts, not many new longs yet. So the big, why there's 80% on Binance are those long-standing longs. We go out to the 3-month chart and you'll see like all the longs there are on Doge. And they're just riding it. All of these down here. All those long positions are open. And that's where the money is. These are all from 18 cents all the way down to 13 cents. And they're just continuing to hold those positions open, waiting for that next big move up for Doge before they start cashing out their positions. That is where the big money is all down there. Now, Doge isn't going to go down there, I don't believe, to take out those leveraged longs down below 18 cents, unless there's some other bigger crash going on. But that's why that 80% is there. However, this chart here does point a different direction from the bull chart. And that is that since Doge moved up to 25 cents just about 2 weeks ago, it has been bouncing off this lower sloping resistance line. Some call it a wedge, and that the weakness in that could point to lower. Could point to lower. So, and I kind of think that that is kind of what we're going to do, is we are going to bounce a little lower. So for those looking to buy on dips, that dip buying opportunity is going to be coming, and it could be this week. It could be this week. Longer term, however, would be the falling wedge could hint at a rally longer term, and with that falling wedge, that breakout and then subsequent move up, which I don't think it's going to happen this soon, but possibly in the fall, is when we see that next bigger move. But this is zoomed out more. That's looking from November falling wedge to today, with the breakout of the wedge that we had up to 25 cents here, and now starting to drift back. That drift back, I think, is going to continue a little more. So Trader Allen, looking at his chandelier chart, pointing to this green. So once we get into that green coming off the red, he thinks that that points to Doge then moving up. Although Dogecoin has, typically when that happens, has one more move down before moving up. And again here, when green turned to red, there was one more move down before moving up. So I think that is what is in play here, is that one more move down and then we move up. So we will be watching this. We will be watching the leverage, what's happening, overall leverage, and then zoomed in, because it does tend to give us some targets as where more immediate price action can go. And the Bitcoin one did play out, as I predicted, down to 102,860. Again, had a second drop that went just a little bit lower before moving up. So that's kind of the play right now, is where we are. Dogecoin showing weakness, more weakness while I'm recording this, down to 2157 now, and Bitcoin back to 1027. So join in on my next live stream, Monday, 4 o'clock p.m. East Coast time. We will catch up on the day's trading, and then again look at this up-down narrative and where things stand with Doge. Give the video a like. Leave a comment below. What do you think on short-term and long-term up-down? Let me know in the comments below. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. I appreciate the support. We'll see you next time.